Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features the top-scoring pass offense in the NFL. The Redskins are top 10 in passing TDs, and they go up against a Jets defense that will need to be on its game. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Just a few moments ago, it was the Redskin defense being introduced, and the largest cheers went for their Pro Bowl cornerback, Josh Norman, as he and his guys get set to do battle with the New York Jets. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they enter play here. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. They'll run now with Ware. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Cousins now on 2nd down. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. On the ground, this is Ware. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Spencer Ware's numbers on the ground a week ago. 20 carries, 91 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Caught on the right side, Reed. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A look at the numbers from a week ago for Reed. 8 catches, 132 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They run again with Ware. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 3rd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
And New York set to take the field. Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They'll run it now out of the gun. Finds a seam inside the 40. A huge play there for the Jets. 44 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This is fielded at the goal line. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the
defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Washington. Josh Doxson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
A spin. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well. That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just stuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays, too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
The grab made by Curse over the middle. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was third and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great play there with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Jets have taken the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
At just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, then he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Now Cousins. Jordan Reed has it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Cousins on first down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
A second down throw for Cousins. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Guzman. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Redskins on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. On the run, it's Ware. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 2nd down, Cousins. The quick slant caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he'll bang that one through. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on his 4th possession. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Going for the deep ball. And this is caught at the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Robbie Anderson, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Jets get the quick strike touchdown. Well, he's in the MVP race, no doubt. Last year, Zeke finishing 3rd, Fournette trying to better that.
Love his body control. Love how he's physical yet fluid when he runs his routes. And that's why he finds himself open so often.
Picking up where he left off in that great performance a week ago. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Spencer Ware and the rest of his offense retaking the field. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Now Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target. And now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded at the 20. A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Oh, shifty.
Whoa.
A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Larry Ridley will have first half highlights and analysis.
LR, plenty to show in this one.
Going to be a busy man at intermission. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want...
Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Robbie Anderson, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. So a tiptoe catch back in the end zone, so tough to do, but he made it look pretty easy.
Certainly did, and the back of the end zone is treated the same way as the sideline. You have to get your feet down in bounds for it to count as a catch. How about the backgrounds of some of these guys, though? Did they work?
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Spencer Ware and the rest of his offense retaking the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. He's got the size, the hands.
The speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Over the middle, complete. It's Guzman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Throwing is Cousins. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Leonard Williams in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They run it here. Where? And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
A lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll set up a throw. Caught. Seferian-Jenkins, right side. And he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And he spikes it to stop the clock. And now if they choose, they'll have a chance at maybe a long field goal try here just before the break. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
Following the field goal on is Locke Edwards to kick it away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So we've reached halftime with a visit, and no update from Larry this week, apparently. We'll try again in week 7, but for now, let's get back to the action, ready to kick off the second half. This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Open man is Stewart. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there at 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it, because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Zach Brown able to get in and run him down for what will be a loss of 15 yards. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. And now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
That goes as a gain of 37 on third down.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
Yeah, a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They'll look to throw here. Just shy of the end zone at the 1. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before. Getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the T as well. That was excellent footwork to get in bounds and make a great catch.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And to give this time to the tailback. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. On play action, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength. And he showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he?
No.
Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He has a chance to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark on this drive.
And most of the time during a game, people aren't keeping track of individual statistics.
Are you sure?
Well, a lot of the runners kind of know. But I'll guarantee you, someone has sent word into the offensive line that he's got a chance to get over 200 on this drive. That should give them a little extra motivation because they love it when backs break that barrier.
Absolutely. We'll see if he can do it. They'll run it now out of the gun. Big hold of the 30. And all and touchdown, New York. A big play there with his third touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And this Jets offense continues to pour it on. He's got the hat trick, 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours out there?
I didn't have mine. You've got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for a nose for the end zone. 3rd time today. I think he deserves a tip of the cap.
Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. And Reed with it over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Cousins to his big target. Reed and the Redskins have a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Where gets hit and the ball is loose. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. You've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
They go play action here on first down. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Robbie Anderson, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 19 on the year. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Jets.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The lone second remains now in this 3rd quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. From the gun, here's Cousins. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Personally, I think they've got to go somewhere else with the football. They've got to bracket it out there in double coverage. Makes it hard to fit it in time after time.
It would have had to have been an absolutely perfect pass and not good enough. Cousins, throw left side complete. That's Guzman. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Trent Murphy. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes.
And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Linval Joseph. In there to drop him for a 6-yard loss. And that'll lead to a 4th down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And Myers able to knock it through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
New York set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit. Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission, I think.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Now back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Back to throw here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Had a good move, but only able to work it to the 20-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll set up to throw, and he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's only gotten in 3 times, and you can't give up a 4th one on that play.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Leonard Williams in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
It's brought in by Dodson. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It'll be a gain of 24 on the play. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on 4th and long. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need. That's exactly what they got done.
Dumps that off to Ware. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain.